Okay, guys, with that down, let's move on to our next topic here, shall we? Paris, what do we got up next?
Yes, so Chris Pratt is obviously best known for playing the child kidnapping victim turned galactic hero, Star-Lord in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he might have a change of scenery coming up. Pratt was recently photographed on the set of Superman visiting James Gunn, and now Pratt is saying he'd like to join Gunn in the new DCU. According to IGN, the actor told TMZ that he would, of course, be interested in being a part of the DCU, and there's always a chance if it could fit into my schedule and it made sense, I would love it. If it's right and the fans would love it, I'd be more than happy to do it. John, could you see Chris Pratt joining the DCU?
I 100% could see it happening. I mean, look, we've talked about this a few times, actually. When James Gunn had such a tight relationship with everybody in the Guardians of the Galaxy that, you know, between him, Dave Bautista burned his bridges at Disney for it because he loved James Gunn so much. Like, he had such a tight, wonderful relationship with all of them. And that includes Chris Pratt, who I'm not going to say Chris Pratt wouldn't have gone on to become a star anyway, but I think it's fair to say, while we loved him in Parks and Rec, and I loved him in Parks and Rec, it was playing Peter Quill, Star-Lord, in Guardians of the Galaxy that made Chris Pratt a star. And I think he's always had an affinity for James Gunn with him. Okay. So, number one, I just think Chris Pratt is an incredibly entertaining guy. Even when he's in movies I don't necessarily really like, I love seeing him on screen. He's a terrific performer. And I'll say this, I know you guys have heard me say this before, but I think it's kind of worth mentioning, is that of all the movie stars I've met and hung out with and talked to and interviewed and whatever, I have, quite frankly, 100% never met one as nice, as friendly, as considerate, as just a joy to be around as Chris Pratt. He's just truly the most wonderful guy I've met in the business. He's amazing, to the point that I remember he came and hung out at our studio for an afternoon, and he talked to Ann a little bit. And then, like 6 months later, I go to a press junket and I go in to interview Chris Pratt. I'm like interviewer number 48 of the day to go in and talk to him. I hadn't seen him in 6 months, nothing like that. Walk in, he stands up, he goes, "John." I'm like, "Oh, hey Chris, how you doing?" He goes, "Great, how's Ann doing?" Like, he hadn't seen Ann, talk to us, nothing like that in like 6 months. And the very first thing he says is, "How's Ann doing?" So I texted Ann that, totally made her year. But that's just the kind of guy he is. He's a super sweet guy. I love seeing him succeed. Anyway, so a lot of people will then say, "Well, John, he can't because he's in the MCU." That does not, like, there are people who have this belief that it's like, if you're in one thing, you can't be in another. That's not how Hollywood works. You can very easily be in a, Universal movie and in a Paramount movie. You might even be in two different movies that are coming out in the same month. Why am I freezing? Lawrence Fishburne. Concurrently, at the same time, while he was still our Perry White in DC, he also came over and played a role in Ant-Man 2. So you can very easily, he can still be Star-Lord and be Booster Gold and be Nightwing, depending on how old they wanted to make their Batman. He could still come over to DC and be something else, right?
A Lantern or whatever.
Yeah, one of the maybe, you know what? Maybe he's a Kyle Rayner. Maybe he's a Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Maybe a little bit old for Kyle Rayner, but why not? But a lot of people could see him as Booster Gold, what have you, whatever. So, number one, I think he would be a great addition to James Gunn's DCU. Number two, I think they've already shown the two of them work beautifully together because the Guardians movies are fantastic. And number three, there's nothing preventing a Chris Pratt from being in a movie for Marvel and for DC and for Universal and for Lionsgate and for Paramount and for Warner. As an actor, you can do all of that. As long as you're not filming at the exact same time, you're good. So I, for one, would love it. And I'll be honest with you too. I think there's already more to it than this. Like, I know when the set photos came out of him on the set of Superman visiting James Gunn saying, oh, no, it's just him coming to visit James. And that very well could be true. I'm going to put on my conspiracy theory hat. I think he's already signed on to DC. I think he's already there. I think it's already done. I think him and James have already decided you're going to be in a DC movie and this is who you're going to play. I have nothing to back that up with. I have no proof of that. This is just me speculating as a fan. But I think it's already done, and I don't think it stops him from still coming back to Marvel and appearing as Star-Lord in another movie there. And I think it's perfectly fine.
I definitely support it. I'm
like this idea?
I'm a Chris Pratt stan, so I think put him in all the roles. I think he'll be great.
Let me ask you, what's your favorite Chris Pratt thing?
Oh, now that's hard. Ooh, because it's so, I mean, I feel like no one's gonna agree, but I really did like him in Parks and Rec.
As Andy, he's incredible.
I can watch Parks and Rec over and over and over, and it's just to watch him as Andy. He just cracked me up. But I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I know I watch Parks and Rec all the time, so I have to say that one.
Well, I mean, do you remember the backlash? Like, we talk about it now, but do you remember the backlash when Andy's gonna be Star-Lord?
Oh,
Andy's gonna be a
backlash?
superhero. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
You were like, the chubby guy from Parks and Rec is
yeah,
gonna
I
be a
can see
superhero. Oh,
Yeah.
it was like, essentially, it was the Michael Keaton effect when he became Batman.
Because
Everyone's like,
also,
Mr. Mom is
okay.
going to be Batman.
Andy was
that.
a little roly-poly,
Yeah.
right? And even when Pratt came into our offices, he was in the middle of filming Guardians of the Galaxy, and he had clearly changed his body shape. But he's like, it was my birthday on set, and they had to give me a literal cake made of fruit. Not a fruit cake, but literally a cake made of just fruit. So that was, or remember the backlash when they announced he was going to be the voice of Mario? Oh, this is going to suck now. This is going to suck. Like, guess what? $1.3 billion later.
Let's go.
Then everybody said, what? He's going to be the voice of Garfield. How stupid is that? That movie just quadrupled its production budget.
That's right.
I feel like I'm missing all the backlash because I'm like, oh, he's gonna do great, of course. So I don't even pay
People
attention
like
to
him,
this
but
noise.
people seem to really love Chris Pratt, but they like him in what they like him in.
Yeah.
They don't want to see him do other things. They don't want him going off with some other girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know when you discover a new binge-worthy show or a song that you bump on repeat and you have to share it with your friends so they can experience just how awesome it is? That's kind of what it feels like when you discover that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. It's such an awesome deal, there is no way you can keep it to yourself. My last mobile service provider was quite good, but ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've enjoyed even better coverage, better phone clarity, and I'm paying less than a third of what I paid to my old provider. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Do you think Pratt will ultimately end up in DC? I think he will, but I think he'll do that and still continue to be Star-Lord. Maybe you think, John, it's what it looks like. He was simply there visiting a friend, and like any actor, he's saying, sure, he would do it if it was right. I don't know. Whatever you guys think about it, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.